All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. It's the Saturday version of Dissecting the Quran. Looks like it's just going to be me and Paul tonight, but you never know. Santa Claus might be around the corner. So let's start off with a new intro for the show. Okay, that was a new intro. I just realized I was on mute. Oh, we got one. We got one viewer. Welcome
All
to the
right.
show. Welcome to the show. Maybe we might have to start giving out prizes.
Who can
You
invite
know,
the
man,
most?
I know, man. I am stuck on 494. I need six more so I can do community posts.
Huh.
Okay, so last Friday we left off on 103. Well, actually 102. So today we're going to pick up at 103. I think we just lost our only viewer, but that's okay. It's not the number that counts; it's the message getting out. All right, let me know. Let me know when you're ready.
All
Rock and
right.
roll.
Let's do
All right.
this.
All right. And I know Osama's probably watching. I don't want him to say that we didn't read his intros into the thing. All right. So the story of Moses was copied from the Bible and corrupted again. Note that the crucifixion was not implemented for several hundred years after the event as described in verse 124. Also notice that the sorcerers believed in the God of Moses. This is repeated in verses 20, 70, which contradicts the verse in chapter 10, verse 83.
83.
All right. So the sorcerers believed in the God of Moses.
You
That's
know, if
interesting.
they believed in the God of Moses, why were they keeping them as slaves?
I don't know.
Why did they fight the God of Moses? That doesn't make any sense. It's like he knows half the story and he's got to repeat the little bit he knows.
Right. Well, I mean, we
Oh,
saw that we saw that last week. Hey, Nim Grace, good to see you. We saw that last week in the 50 verses that we read, how the script was pretty much the same for all the different supposed messengers. Now, I've been asking the Muslims over on Clubhouse if they can tell me who were the messengers that were sent to Ad and who were the messengers that were sent to Noah's people. Because apparently, Noah was not the only one that was sent to Noah's people, according to chapter 7, which we read and covered last week. Hey, Jesus Worldwide, good to have you. Good to have you. So let's pick up on 103. Then we sent after them Moses with our signs to the Pharaoh and his leaders. So they treated it unjustly. Okay. What did they treat unjustly? They treat Moses unjustly or Allah's signs? And if it's Allah's signs, how do you treat something that is not tangible unjustly? Because it says it.
they
Now, unless
treated it
it,
unjustly.
I'm thinking it goes back to signs.
Hmm. That's
Or they treated Pharaoh unjustly and the leaders. I mean, I don't know.
it doesn't make any sense. I mean, that's the issue with pronouns, and that
No,
they just don't line up in the Quran, which is why I keep saying it's like a person who's learning Arabic as a second language.
Or maybe even a third.
Yes.
I mean, who knows? See how was the end of the Vandals? Okay, I mean, have you seen how the Vandals ended? I haven't. I don't even know who the Vandals are. I'm assuming they're the unbeliever. And Moses said, "O Pharaoh, surely I am a messenger from the Lord of the worlds." Okay. "It is worthy of me that I will not say about Allah except the truth. Indeed, I came to you, with proofs from your Lord, so send with me the children of Israel." I came to you. That implies that he's already come to Pharaoh before.
A message from the Lord. This is, yeah. So Moses said, "Fairly, surely I'm a messenger from the Lord of the worlds. It's worthy of me." Which verse are you on? Verse
Verse 105, where it says, "It is worthy of me that I will not say about Allah except the truth. Indeed, I came to you." Shouldn't it be "I come to you"? Well, but I guess Allah is talking in the present tense. So I came
Well,
to you with proof from your Lord. So send with me the children of Israel.
came to with proof from your Lord. Okay, that implies this is the interesting part. I came to you with proof from your Lord. So let's see. The Egyptians didn't worship Allah. They didn't worship the God of the Jews. So if he came to them with a message from their Lord, I mean, we've got Osiris, we've got how many gods? I mean, is Allah now taking part in polytheism?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, that's the implication here,
Yeah.
because apparently Allah doesn't know that these people believed in many gods, and if you look at that time period that we're talking about, yeah, this just shows Allah doesn't know history.
All right. Yeah, hey, Nim Grace, no, this is not the critical Quran. This is actually from Brother Usama.
I actually have the critical Quran open, and it's very similar.
Okay.
Verse 105. I have it open because I bought it. It says, verse 105 says, "Approved upon the condition that I speak nothing but the truth about Allah. I come to you with a clear proof from your Lord. So let the children of Israel go with me." Wait a minute. Again, it doesn't, I mean, Robert Spencer puts it the same way. Allah is sending a message from your Lord. It's Allah sending messages through other gods.
I mean, I think it would have been better if it would have said, I came to you with proofs from, let's say, the true God, because like you said, the Egyptians they believed in many gods, Ra and all that other,
Yeah.
So to say your Lord, if I was an Egyptian, I would say, which one?
Yes, that's exactly it.
It depends on what day I'm worshiping. Today might be Ra, tomorrow might be, oh man, I forgot the names of the Egyptian gods.
Anubis, Osiris,
Right,
there's so many that
right.
they have to sit there and, okay,
Horus,
who's being honored today?
yeah. Okay. He said, "If you have come with a sign, so bring it if you were of the truthful." Okay, I think this is one that
If
one of
you
the
have come
Qurans.
with a sign, so bring.
One of the Quran says, "I came with a sign," but that's okay. We're not talking about the differences in the Quran. Okay,
Mhm.
so Moses said, I have come with a sign." We don't know what the sign is, so bring it if you were the truthful. Oh, if you have come with a sign, he said, who? He said, who? The Pharaoh, Moses, Allah.
Okay, let me see. 106 with Robert Spencer's. And you just see how close these are, like extremely, extremely close. Robert Spencer put it down. He said, "If you come with a sign, then produce it. If you are among those who speak the truth." Again,
Okay,
who is he?
right. Who's supposed to come with a sign? Is this Pharaoh speaking to Moses saying, if you come with a sign?
Then produce it. Okay, so wait a minute. Here's the humor here. We ask the signs of God usually. We ask, is fair, and it sounds like Allah is asking for a sign from us. Does that make Allah less than human?
I mean, I don't know. This is very. I'm over here trying to figure out who he. Now I'm assuming he is Allah. Now Allah sends Moses to Pharaoh. So why would he say, if you have come with a sign? To me, it reads like Pharaoh is telling Moses, if you have come with a sign, so bring it. If you were of the truthful. Okay, yes, this is the Pharaoh speaking, because in 107 it says, so he threw down his rod, so behold, it became an obvious serpent. Okay, so he said is the Pharaoh. Now, would you have been able to figure out it was the Pharaoh?
No. Well, here's the other part we don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, going even back up, it says, "O Pharaoh, surely I am a messenger from the Lord of the worlds." So if Moses is saying this, okay, "O Pharaoh, surely I'm a messenger from the Lord of the worlds. It is worthy of me that I will say about Allah except the truth indeed. I came to you with proof from your Lord, so send me with the truth." And then he said, "If you then okay, so we have Pharaoh speaking. If you came with a sign, so bring it. If you were truthful." So he throws down his rod. Why is this all happening? It is not being stated. You're supposed to automatically know that the Israelites were slaves, but the Quran didn't communicate that.
And that is
It
one of the
didn't tell them why Moses is even there.
and that is the problem that we have with the Quran, because without the other external sources, you have no clue why Moses is going to the Pharaoh and saying, send me with the children of Israel. First of all, we have no clue who the children of Israel is. I mean, in
Again,
the Quran.
there's nothing to indicate that the children of Israel are slaves at this point. There's
Right,
nothing to indicate why Moses is there.
right,
I mean, except for the fact that the Quran is stating, "Then we sent after them Moses." There's
right,
no reasoning given.
right. Okay, so he threw down the rod. So behold, it became an obvious serpent. 108, and he drew his hand. So behold, it was white to the onlookers. The leaders from the people of Pharaoh said, surely this is a knowing sorcerer. He desires to get you out of your land. Okay, so now this is saying that Moses wants the pharaohs, the Egyptians, to leave their land. He desires to get you out of your land. So what will you command? So I thought it was the opposite way. I thought Moses was sent to Pharaoh so that Pharaoh would release his people to leave
I mean,
Egypt.
to release Moses' people, correct?
Right. Not for Pharaoh to get out of his lands and leave the land to the Jews. Okay. They
Right.
said, delay him and his brother and send gatherers into the cities. They will bring every knowing sorcerer to you. Okay. And then, okay, 113. And the sorcerers came to Pharaoh. They said, surely we will have a wage if we were the victors. Surely we will have a wage if we were the victors.
Oh, well, you know what? I still think it's humorous that they keep talking about wages so everything you do that's good earns you wages. Everything you do that's bad earns you wages, according to the Quran. And
Right.
this sounds very much like the Hindu belief, in karma.
Yeah, but man,
Or I should say
surely,
the pagan belief.
yeah, surely we will have a wage if we were the victors.
So is he saying Pharaoh lost?
but it would make more sense if it said, if we are the victors, but we
I mean, there's
were
no description of what happens. And this is
right.
the part that bothers me. There's no description of what happened when Moses threw down his rod. All right. So let's read that. And let's see. I think that comes from the sort to put forth your hand, take it out. All right. Let me just get this passage out of scripture just a second. I think it is verse chapter 4. I think it is Exodus 4. Let me just double check this. All right. Exodus 4. Okay. But Moses is given powers in Exodus 4, but I think when he's before Pharaoh, let me just double check this. I think that is... All right, so in Exodus 4, I'm just going to read it. 4 verse 4. And we'll start with 1. And Moses answered and said, "But behold, they will not believe me," he's talking to God, "nor listen to my voice, for they will say, the Lord has not appeared unto me." And the Lord said unto him, "What is that in your hand?" And he said, "A rod." And he said, "Cast it on the ground." And he cast it on the ground, and it became a serpent. And Moses fled from it. And the Lord said unto Moses, "Put forth your hand and take it by the tail." And he put forth his hand, and he's probably just as scared as I would have been, and caught it, and it became a rod in his hand again. That they may believe that the Lord God of their fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob has appeared to you. And the Lord said furthermore, "Put now your hand into your bosom." And he put his hand into his bosom, and when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. So that's what they see. This white hand is not very descriptive of why it's problematic. They don't understand. Maybe they just haven't heard the concept of leprosy in Saudi Arabia at this point. I just, you sit there kind of wondering, how could they miss that? I mean, that's a huge detail. So it's white. So what? The guy is white. So how is that different? Yeah, it's leprous is pus. It's nasty. Yeah. So, I look at that, and this is like you just said a few minutes ago. You can't understand the Quran without extraneous sources, and then you understand the Quran is missing a lot. And then they add stuff to these stories. I mean, where you got to the point where they're going to earn a wage. It makes you think.
Everything's a wage, and like you said, by that time they would have had to have known, about leprosy. Come on, that existed for what? It existed during the time of Moses, which was roughly 1500 BC. I mean, you're talking about 2,000 years.
Well,
I'm pretty sure.
it existed during the time of Jesus because he healed leprosy.
Right.
The question is, did leprosy go that far north?
That
And
is
that's a possibility. It didn't go that far north.
right. I mean, that is true. That's something to think about. But so far, the few verses that we've read, this thing does not make any sense. Oh, okay. Where were we? 113?
Yes.
All right. And okay.
No, actually, I think we're on 14.
No, 114. Right. Okay, 114. He said, "Yes, and surely you will be of the nearer." The nearer what? Okay. They said, "Oh, Moses, either you cast or we will be those who cast." Okay, I can dig it.
Okay,
He
so
said,
I'm
go
just
ahead.
going to pull out Robert Spencer's translation as he said, they said, "Oh, Moses, either throw or let us be the first throwers." What does that have to do with anything we're talking about? Throw what?
I don't know. Throw,
It's the same thing. Casting, throwing. I mean,
throw the dice, roll it, baby.
yeah, that's the closest thing you come to. Yeah.
Hey, we have God Logic in the chat. I don't know if he
Hey,
wants to come up.
come on in, God Logic.
Let me post a link. God Logic, if you wanted. No, this is not the link. This is the link to the channel. I posted the link on Clubhouse. We got Shepherd's Hook. We got invites. Copy the clipboard. All right, let's go over here.
So I mean, it's humorous when we read verse 15. My first thought with reading Usama's translation is maybe they're going fishing, because I think about casting is going fishing.
Right. Yeah. Casting
Casting your line.
Yeah.
Okay, so we went from Moses to them saying to Moses, either you cast or we will be those who cast. Cast what? Are we talking about witchcraft? I mean, are you talking about casting spells? Oh, yep, they're talking about casting spells. It's revealed in 1:16.
He said, "You cast." So they were saying for Moses to cast his spells. So I guess they think Moses is a sorcerer. He said, "You cast." So when they cast, they bewitched the people's eyes and made them afraid, and they brought a great sorcery. Okay. And we revealed to Moses that cast your rod. So behold, it pecks what they fabricate. It pecks. Okay. I'm telling you, I'm getting, even my English is getting worse reading the Quran.
So I'm just going to pick on Robert Spencer's. He said, and we inspired Moses, throw your staff. And indeed it swallowed up the lying show. Like, what?
Yeah. I don't know which one is, at least his sounds a little better. This one just says, so behold, it pecks what they fabricate, pecks. When I think of pecks, I'm thinking of chickens, chickens pecking.
Yeah.
What they fabricate. What did they fabricate?
I think this is where I think Robert Spencer was probably a little kinder and tried to make the Quran clearer a little bit.
But it's supposed to be a critical Quran. It's supposed to be like a word for word, even if it doesn't make sense. I saw the first 2 chapters of Mary's Quran thing. Actually, very interesting. That's going to take her a very long time.
Yeah, you and I'll talk later about that. Yeah.
Okay, so we don't know what they mean by it pecks what they fabricate. I don't know what that means. So the truth was vindicated, and vain was what they were doing. Okay, so what were they doing? We don't know. So they were defeated thereupon, and they were turned away, humiliated. Okay, what was the challenge? What happened?
So in this way, they were defeated there and brought low, is what Spencer has for 119.
Okay, humiliated, brought low. Okay, 120. And the sorcerers fell down worshiping. Okay. They said, we believe in the Lord of the worlds.
Wait a minute. Doesn't that make them believe in Allah?
Yeah. So now the sorcerers believe in Allah, but yet they're still sorcerers, right? You don't.
I thought sorcery was forbidden by
It is
by Islam.
Yeah, but here's the thing: Allah sent down 2 angels to teach magic and all that other good stuff.
Okay.
So we can blame Harut and Haran or something like that. Yeah. So Allah figured, listen, if these guys are going to learn magic, I am going to teach them how to do it properly. Let me send my 2 guys down here, and they're going to teach them the magic, and they're going to tell them, please do not do this. We're only showing this to you, but we don't expect you to use it. Okay. We believe in the Lord of the worlds, the Lord of Moses and Aaron.
So wait a minute. If they believe in the Lord of Moses and Aaron, why is the God of Moses and Aaron there, confronting them?
Well, apparently, maybe they just became converts over the competition. So before they didn't really believe it.
Pharaohs. So what this is really saying is that there's no reason for them to argue. I mean, they both believe in the same God. So it sounds so clueless that Muhammad doesn't know the reason why Moses is there. That's what it reveals. That Allah is clueless, and so is his puppet Allah. I mean, Muhammad's puppet Allah. That's what it reveals. This is why he gets mocked all the time. He doesn't know the full story, so people are laughing at him. This is why he kills poets and people for mocking him, because they know he doesn't. He gets part of the story, and this just proves it.
Right. Okay, Pharaoh said. Pharaoh said 123. Pharaoh said, "Have you believed in him before I gave you permission? Surely this is a deception. You have deceived in the city, so that you may get its people out of it, so you will know." Oh my God. Okay, so I guess the sorcerers needed permission from Pharaoh before they could believe, because apparently he didn't give them permission to believe.
So 123 in Spencer's book, Dissecting the Quran. So it says, they said, indeed, we are about to return to. Oh, sorry, that's 123. I got 123. I'm sorry. 123. Pharaoh said, you believe in him before I give you permission. Indeed, this is the plot that you have plotted in the city, so that you may drive its people away from there. But you will come to know.
Okay. We will come. Oh, this is the good one.
Come to know what?
I guess he's going to tell you.
I mean, they just it just seems like they don't get it. That's
he's going to see. I think the problem is that really 124 is a continuation of 123, because what I think it should say is, so you will know, I will surely cut off your hands and legs on opposite sides. Okay, cut off your hands and legs on opposite sides. Hello, dude. Don't you mean we will cut off your hand and leg on opposite sides? If you cut off the legs,
this is a punishment that they give out.
Yeah, but if you cut off, but he's saying he's going to cut off your hands and legs on opposite sides. But if you're cutting off the legs, okay, maybe he's talking to as a group, not to an individual. Okay, so he's going to cut off their hands and legs on opposite sides. And if that's not enough, then we're going to crucify you, all of you.
But there's no crucifixion at this point in time. So this is another part where Allah doesn't know.
I would like, and I asked a Muslim today in my room, which was titled, can you prove that the Quran is the words of Allah? And this was one of the points that I brought up, if they could find me any historical references to crucifixion.
The Romans created this horrible torture.
Well, actually, it was before the Romans.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yeah. It was actually the Persians. The Romans, they, what's a good word? They
probably
made it even better. Yeah, they perfected it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then I will crucify all of you, man. I mean, don't you
find one? I mean, this is proof that the Quran is corrupt. They keep talking, and Muslims keep talking about the Bible and they talk about that being corrupt, but we're just reading their Bible. I mean, their concept of a holy book, and no, it's not holy. It might have several holes in it, but it's not by any means holy if it's missing things. And we haven't even, and we're just talking about one story in this book. We haven't even gotten through the first, we've read just a few verses, and it's full of holes.
Right. So I guess then the sorcerers, but how many sorcerers were they? I mean, how many people converted? They said, surely to our Lord we will return. And you do not take revenge on us, except because we believed on the signs of our Lord when they came to us. Our Lord, pour out patience on us and cause us to die Muslims.
What? Now who's speaking here? Is this the sorcerer speaking?
I'm thinking it's the sorcerers.
Okay, what verse is that? That's 125.
Yeah, if you look at,
okay, yeah. I'm just going to read Spencer's part of it. He said, they said, indeed, we are about to return to our Lord. In 126, you take vengeance on us only as much as we believe the signs of our Lord when they came to us. Our Lord grant us perseverance and make us die as Muslims. This is where Allah is not clear, and the Quran is not clear. which tells every follower of Islam, why are you following Islam? Because the Quran is not clear. I mean, we're just reading it. It's something no Muslim imam will do. He won't go through it verse by verse. He's too cowardly. Your local imam is too cowardly to do this because you know what? People will do what they're doing here, leaving Islam.
This deserves to be my avatar. The clear as mud book.
Yes.
Okay, so Muhammad describes the killing of the male children of Israel. The timing of this event, as recorded in the following verses, is in agreement with verse 40:25, but is contradicted in 28:4-7. Okay, so what's new? Okay, 127. And the leaders from the people of Pharaoh said, will you let Moses and his people to vandalize in the land and desert you? Yeah, I got desert like in dessert in my mind.
So this is a slight difference, but these wordings are a little bit more familiar. It says, this is Spencer's version. He says, the chief of Pharaoh's people said, will you allow Moses and his people to spread corruption in the land and defy you and your gods? He said, we will kill their sons and leave their women alive, for indeed we're in power over them. Oh,
Okay.
spread corruption in the land. Does that phrase sound familiar?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't. It's pretty much this the vandalize in the land, the corruption in the land. That sounds synonymous. I mean, we don't think about that. And what do Muslims say they're going to do with people who spread corruption in the land?
Yeah, kind of what Pharaoh said he would do to the sorcerers. Nothing that
they need to.
Nothing that I want to, try. Okay, 128. Moses said to his people, seek assistance with Allah and be patient. Surely the earth is Allah's. He will bequeath it to whom he wills of his servants, and the end to the fearer. They said, I guess that's Moses' people, we have been oppressed before you came to us and after you came to us. He said, perhaps your Lord will destroy your enemy and will make you his viceroys in the land. There's another prophet that doesn't know what Allah is going to do. What good is being a prophet if you don't know what Allah is going to do? Doesn't Allah tell you, hey, listen, tell them that I'm going to destroy their enemy? And indeed, we seized the family of Pharaoh with the years and less of the fruits. Okay, that Shakespeare. Perhaps they may remember. Okay, yeah. You remember anything, Paul? Because I don't. All right, 131. So we may actually finish this darn chapter today.
Wow.
So when the good fortune came to them, they said, this is for us. And if evil befell them, they take Moses and who is with him as a bad omen. But surely their birds. They're birds.
But surely their bird.
Let me pull up. I should have pulled up two versions.
131.
Open wit, brave. I mean, this this Allah here is. All right, let me see. Chapter 8. And then we go up.
7, 131.
Evil omen. Okay.
Evil omen. Okay, so let me read Spencer's version. It says, but whenever something good happened to them, they said, this is ours. And whenever evil struck them, they ascribed it to the evil omens of Moses and those who were with him. Surely their evil omen was only with Allah, but most of them did not know. Wait a minute. Didn't know what? I mean,
I mean, we're still trying to
Okay,
figure
so
it
if it's evil, this is you can take this a couple different ways. If an evil omen is only with Allah, isn't it telling you don't follow him? Why
Hey,
would you follow a god that has an evil omen that just stays with him?
what is it with these bots? I'm going to have to learn how to do a bot.
I got rid of the last one.
Oh, okay.
I'll keep watching.
All right, let me see. Okay, but surely
We could have fun with bots if I just think it's wrong personally, but I mean, yeah, I'm tempted. I mean, there's certain people I would think be fun to put in. Come to the Dissecting the Quran series. You're listening to an idiot or something like that.
Yeah, I was thinking of going to like SC Dawa and EF Dawa and use have a bot. Okay, Muhammad is confused between the flood of Noah and the story of Moses and Pharaoh. Okay, yeah, Osama had talked about that. See Genesis 7. The 10 plagues did not include a flood. See Exodus 7:20, Exodus 7
20 to 12:30.
20 to 12:30. Oh, chapter 20. Okay, chapter 20. Okay, I guess. Okay. All right, 133.
No, it's 7. It's chapter 7, verse 20 to chapter 12, verse 30. That's the 12 plagues.
Whoa, that's a
The
big.
10 plagues.
Okay,
10 plagues. Yeah. Yeah, it's like it covers that
so
much
basically
material.
over 5 chapters.
Yes.
Cover all of that. Okay. I was going to say. Oh, okay. So 133. And I'm assuming that number nine is the flood, except he has a deluge. Okay. So when we sent on them the floods and the locusts and the lice and the frogs and the blood expounded. Okay, wait a minute. If Allah would have sent a flood, there would be nobody to send the locusts and the lice and the frogs and the blood.
Well, there's humor in this too.
Huh?
So I'm just going to see if I can find it real quick. The order of the plagues. I mean, because there's
No, but
just so
I'm
much
just
humor.
saying, according to this verse, it would seem that he sent the flood first.
Yes.
So I guess the flood didn't. How does the flood work? Maybe it was just like a 3 inches of water, because last time Allah sent the floods, pretty much everybody died except Noah and his family.
This is where I think something's just funny. So first we get the first real one is water turned into blood.
Right.
Okay. The next one we have the plague of frogs. If the water turns into blood, where do the frogs go? They go onto the land. Okay. All right. So they're so much that it drives everybody nuts. What's next? Lice. I mean, you got to think of the stench from the death of the frogs too. No matter where they were, they piled up in one place in the stench. All right, the lice, it gets into everybody's hair, it gets in everything. Next, there's flies. Okay, I mean, I don't know if you've ever been someplace. There's some places in the Allegheny Mountains where they have black flies, and they have so many flies that you can't walk without eating them. I'm kid you not. And
I mean,
yeah,
I've had
it's
that
disgusting.
problem. Yeah, I've had that problem, but it was gnats. Like
well, these are
clouds.
gnats, flies. Yeah, and then you get diseased livestock, boils, thunderstorms of hail and fire, locusts, darkness for 3 days, and the death of the firstborn son. Okay, so we read verse 133. We got a flood, which is no place. Again, this is Muhammad and his puppet god Allah not knowing. We got locusts and lice and frogs and blood, and then he doesn't know the rest. It basically says expounded spines. Okay. He doesn't know. He's actually admitting he doesn't know expounded signs. So they became proud, which makes no sense. Why?
So we basically have, if we dismiss the flood, which we know didn't happen, it's not one of the 10 signs. 133 is talking about 4 signs, although they're not in order, but 4 signs: the locust, the lice, the frogs, and the blood. Okay, and the expounded signs, we don't know what that is, so they became proud. Okay. And they were a criminal people. Okay. I'm assuming we're talking about the Egyptians were criminal people. All right, 134. And when the wrath fell on them, okay, maybe that's another one. 5. Maybe that's describing the what was it, the hail and the thunder, all that good stuff.
When the wrath fell on them, they said, "Oh, Moses, call for us to your Lord." No, they didn't. They didn't call. They didn't beg. See, this is the humorous. This
Yeah.
after every plague, they called and begged upon the Pharaoh to do something, and the Pharaoh would come do something. Then he'd basically say, "Screw you, we're going back to this,"
Yeah.
and he would fight again. And
Yeah.
every time they called upon him. So this is partial. It's call for your Lord according to which he has covenanted with you. There
And
was no
Pharaoh
covenant.
and Pharaoh actually went and called on his gods, not
Yes.
Moses' God. All right.
Yes.
And when the wrath fell on them, they said, "Oh, Moses called for us to your Lord, according to that which he has covenant with you. Surely, if you will take the scourge off of us, then we will surely believe you, and we will surely send the children of Israel with you."
So here's another piece of humor. Allah doesn't seem to know, since he claims to be the God of Moses, Allah doesn't seem to know that he sent the plague and not Moses.
Hey, Moses is God.
Well, if Allah, I guess, has partners, is what this is doing. Oh, this makes Allah into shirk. If he's claiming, if Allah is committing an act of shirk here by claiming that Moses can do what he can do, if that's, I mean, this is just one of many examples, unfortunately. Thank you, your Mr. Wise Muhammad, that you could show us that Muhammad didn't know what he was doing. Thank you for putting this in print, whoever did this.
Yeah, naked.
Yeah.
God, more stuff again. 135. So when we lifted the wrath from them for a period which they reached, behold, they broke their oath. Well, first of all, it just says they broke. They broke what? Now, I know someone put their oath there,
135.
but
I
that's
want to
not
read what Spencer put there.
what Spencer says.
Okay. But when we removed the terror from them for a term that they had to reach, they broke their covenant. He doesn't show that the covenant is missing.
Okay. So we took vengeance on them. So we drowned them in a sea because they denied our signs and they were unaware of them. Okay.
Wait a minute. Okay.
How,
We took vengeance on them, so we drowned them in the sea because they denied. This is so clueless. It puts the 10 plagues, and yeah, it's just so clueless.
wait a minute, but didn't Allah just flood them in like 133?
Well, this is something.
Where it
Yeah.
says, and we sent on them the deluge, which I'm assuming is a flood.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Apparently, they all lived through it. Nobody died in that flood.
I guess nobody drowned in a flood. Okay, but here's the funny thing: it's okay, and so he drowned them. No mention about the Egyptians following the children of Israel.
Well, he doesn't even talk about the parting Red Sea because this guy who's writing this book doesn't know the full story. Again, he's got it. It's corrupted. He's lost in space. Again, another reason why people made fun of Muhammad during his time.
Okay, but what's even funnier, it says, okay, so we took vengeance on them, so we drowned them in the sea because they denied our signs and they were unaware of them. So
wait a minute, now he's saying that was his signs, but before he says it's Moses' signs.
Yeah, but you're missing the key point here, or maybe I'm missing. It says that they were drowned because they denied Allah's signs and they were unaware of them. So how could they deny something that they were unaware of?
Oh, that's important.
I mean, you can't deny something that if you don't know anything about.
You and I have talked about how Allah doesn't know, but I mean, and then if they're unaware, how could they be unaware of things like frogs, a plague of frogs, a plague of fleas, a plague of lice? How could you be unaware of those things? And then they just said above that it was so bad that the people went to Moses and begged. I mean, that's the hilarious part of this.
I mean, to say that they denied something that they didn't know existed, or they weren't aware of something, then that doesn't make sense. So you drown the people for denying your signs, but they didn't know what your signs were. And like you said, how do you miss frogs and lice and all that other good stuff? Uh, yeah, it doesn't say why he drowned them. It doesn't say that Moses and that Pharaoh let the people, let everybody go. But then he changed his mind, and then he decided to follow them, and that's when Allah, he parted the Red Sea, and then see what I'm saying. But the
Yeah.
Quran comes to correct the Bible. The Bible gives you all the details of why God is doing something, but the Quran comes to correct it and tell you, yeah, we drowned him for denying our signs that they didn't know were our signs. Yep. Yep. You
I just
corrected
want to
something.
send a shout out to Dragon. Thank you for helping us in the chat room.
Oh yeah,
Thank
she's
you.
always on cue. So I mean, seriously, why do we need the Quran that doesn't that if anything, it confuses the hell out of people
I
more
mean, you can't
so.
read this and get a full story. That's what it comes down
No.
to. And if you don't know the whole story, why don't you go to the place where you can get the whole story, which is the book of Exodus? Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't you read that? Why don't you find out how clueless Muhammad was? I mean, again, the Bible, the Quran says over and over again that the Torah is on target, that it's to be trusted. But if you read it, you might find out Allah is clueless.
Man, I gotta say the bots are busy today.
Oh yeah, they've got nothing better to do. It's a
I know it.
Saturday.
I'm telling you, I guarantee you, it's a Muslim.
Oh,
I
it could be
would,
Allah, Dean. I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
He's been
All right.
bugging me today. Today he said he was my teacher. I wrote back to him, Allah Dean, in order to be a teacher, you have to know the material.
He's left
Won't
me
leave me
alone.
alone.
I haven't heard from him. He hasn't dropped by the channel and say, I school you, I school you. All right, let's go. The Jews inherit the land of Egypt, not the promised land. Also see verse 26:59. Notice that Pharaoh and his army did not follow the Israelites into the sea in this version of the story. Yeah, they just got drowned, but they got drowned at home. All right, 137. And we bequeath to the people who were weakened the eastern and the western lands. Okay, and we bequeath to the people who were weakened the
Why were
west,
they weakened?
the eastern and the western lands. That's a
137 in
that's
Spencer's
a
book. It
that's a
says, and in the critical Quran, it says, and we caused the people who were despised to inherit the eastern parts of the land, and the western parts which we had blessed. And the fair word of your Lord was fulfilled for the children of Israel because of their inheritance, and we annihilated the Pharaoh, what Pharaoh and his people had done, and what they had contrived. He annihilated the.
okay.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Yeah, notice that in this one here it says, so Allah destroyed the Pharaoh and the people who were making what they were building. Didn't Pharaoh know that the people that were building were the Jews? I mean, after all, they were the slaves building the pyramid, and he destroyed all the buildings. So I guess this is where the Jews come and they rebuilt the pyramids. So the Jews are the ones who built the pyramids because clearly, according to verse 137, Allah destroyed the buildings that were being built. All right. And we caused the children of Israel, okay, and we caused the children of Israel to cross the sea. So they came on a people who were devoted to their idols. Okay, this is so confusing. Didn't he just wipe out the people of
So they cross over the sea, over the Red Sea. So that Pharaoh's done with. They're done dealing with Pharaoh. They cross over the Red Sea, and they are in the wilderness, and they run into people who are pagans.
Yeah, but I thought they inherited the land of Pharaoh. So why did they leave Egypt?
So wait a minute. Show me, where was that again? They inherit the land of Pharaoh.
No,
These are people who are weakened. Okay.
that's what Usama says. The Jews inherit the land of Egypt.
Yeah, well, we bequeath to the people who are weakened on the. Yeah, okay. This is where, and you know what the sad truth is here. Allah doesn't know. This is the key thing that keeps coming up. Allah doesn't have a clue. The truth of the matter is these people. He just said it. They crossed over. They left Egypt, and they crossed over. And what did they do? They run into people who are pagan. So it's miscommunication. So. Yeah. And he doesn't know the full story, so he can't really say it.
So they left the land of pagans to go to another land of pagans. Okay.
Yes.
So
but according to Allah, the Egyptians aren't pagans.
Okay. And we caused the children of Israel to cross the sea. We don't know which sea. So they came on the people who were devoted to their idols. They said, meaning the people of Moses, "Oh, Moses, make us a god as they have gods." He said, "Surely you are an ignorant people."
So, okay, so we're getting to the point where, again, not knowing the full story. I mean, they got the story about the idol there, make us a god, and they're talking to Aaron, but they're now putting Moses in that spot. He's so clueless. This is verse 138, or is it 139?
I think 138.
Okay, I'm just going to read it from Spencer's. And we brought the children of Israel across the sea, and they came to a people who were given up to the idols that they had. They said, "O Moses, make a god for us, even as they have gods." He said, "Indeed, you are a people who do not know." They're putting this all on Moses, and it had nothing to do with Moses.
Right.
And that's again, ignorance. I mean, ignorance on parade. That's what it is. Ignorance on parade. I call ignorance willful stupidity. You choose not to know something. All you have to do is go read the book of Exodus, and you can find the truth on this. But, that's how easy. This is one of the reasons why Islam hates Jews, because all you have to do is read the Old Testament. Every Jew who exists who has read the New Testament is a declaration that Islam is wrong.
Yeah.
Read the Old Testament, yeah.
Okay, 139. Surely those, what they are in, would be destroyed, and vain was what they were doing. And what they are in. What are they in?
And Spencer put it this way: indeed, as for those, we're reading verse 139, right?
Yeah.
Indeed, as for these, their way will be destroyed, and all that they are doing is in vain.
I wonder how Spencer got his translation. Who translated it for him?
I have some thoughts, but I'll leave it.
Okay. 140. He said, I'm assuming it's Moses, "Will I seek any other God for you than Allah? And he preferred you above the worlds. And when we delivered you from the family of Pharaoh, laying on you an evil torment, killing your sons and sparing your women. And in this was a great trial from your Lord." So the whole killing your sons was part of Allah's trial to test you.
Well, here's the other part here. They delivered him from the Pharaoh, and this is the projection of it's what I would say projection. His concept of a battle, his concept of a war, is you kill the males and you rape the women. And so if Hebrews are battling Pharaoh, so the Pharaoh is going to kill them, kill the men, and spare the women means basically they rape them. They let them live as sex slaves. And that's his concept, his limited, desert mind. And this is just, yeah.
All right, 142. I think Allah subtracted 10 days. And we appointed for Moses 30 nights, and we completed with 10. Okay, so 40. And we completed with 10, so that his whole time with his Lord amounted to 40 nights. So that's when Moses was up in the mountain.
So
And Moses,
30 nights.
yeah, so 30, and then they added another 10, so total of 40. So he spent 40 nights with Allah. Did Muhammad spend any nights with Allah? No. Might have spent them.
Well, he had many what I would call temporal lobe seizures, but all night. Well, the only person we know he spent all night with was his wives.
And even that we're not sure, because Aisha says he imagined spending.
Well, he was talking about when he said he spent all this time with all of his wives. Yeah.
Okay, with 10, and then okay. And Moses said to his brother Aaron, "Be my viceroy among my people, and reform, and do not follow the ways of the Vandals." Okay.
You know what's kind of humorous here? He asked Moses to be the leader after Moses has already been leading.
Yeah, well, Allah knows best. Okay, Osama says, who was the first of the believers? Was it Moses, Muhammad, or could it have been Abraham? Okay, Ham. Okay. 143. And when Moses came at our set time, and his Lord spoke with him, he said, "My Lord, show me, look to you." What? Show me, look to you? Was that even proper English? Show me, look to you? Okay.
So you finish this one and I'll read it in Spencer's and you'll see.
All right. Yeah. My Lord, show me, look to you. He said, "You will not see me, but look to the mountains. So if it dwells in its place, so you will see me." So when his Lord, number 10, okay, wrong place. Number 10, appeared in glory. All right, so when his Lord appeared in glory to the mountains, he made it dust.
So that's interesting. He appeared in glory to the mountain, not to the people.
Right.
His glory was to the mountain.
Now, do we have any evidence of any mountains just being turned into dust? I'm pretty sure that would be something that we would be able to,
And Moses fell in a swoon. All right, this is making me laugh. All right, let's finish this one. I'm going to read what Spencer wrote. I think we'll laugh again.
Okay, so when he turned to the mountain in his glory, he made it dust, and Moses fell in a swoon. So when he was revived, he said, "Praise be to you. I repented to you. I am the first of the believers."
So what does that rate Muhammad then?
I don't know. But now here's the kicker. Muslims will tell you, "Oh, this just means he was the first of believers to his people, or to his community, to his ummah."
That's not what it says, though.
Yeah, I know. Allah, Allah needs the Muslims.
They're saying Muhammad was the first Muslim.
Right. But according to this, he's the first of the believers. So, but wait a minute. He's the first of the believers. But wasn't Abraham a believer? Wasn't Noah a believer? Wasn't Lot a believer? Wasn't Isaac and Jacob and Ishmael? Weren't they all believers according to Allah? So how is Moses the first of the believers? What believers? I mean, Allah is not very clear. So Allah said, he said, that's Allah. Oh, Moses.
I have an answer for that question.
Okay. You were going to
Allah doesn't know the chronological order.
Right. Now, you were going to read something from Spencer.
Okay, so 143 from Spencer.
Okay.
And when Moses came to our planned meeting and his Lord had spoken to him, he said, "My Lord, show me so that I may look upon you." He said, "You will not see me, but look upon the mountain. If it stands still in its place, then you will see me." And so he's not going for a literal translation, that's for sure. And when his Lord revealed glory to the mountain, he sent it crashing down. And Moses fell down senseless. When he woke, he said, "Glory to you, I turn to you repentant, and I am the first of the believers.
Yeah, but wait a minute. He's saying, okay, look at the mountain. If you see the mountain, then you will see me. But then the mountain disintegrated. So that means Moses didn't see Allah because the mountain wasn't dwelling in its place.
Well, it gets better. The funny thing here is we shouldn't be able to find this mountain still, correct?
You would think.
But
Or
this
we
is
should,
where it
or we
gets
should
funny.
find or we should find a location with evidence that a mountain existed and no longer exists. One of the two.
So this is where it gets funny and humorous. When you talk to them about where this mountain was, you'll hear Muslims state it's in Saudi Arabia. Wait a minute. He just crossed the sea into the wilderness. That would place him pretty close, and if not in, the area we call Israel. Oh, yeah. So did he evaporate a mountain in Saudi Arabia and turn it to dust or sand? Or, again, this is Muhammad not knowing the full story, and he's painting Allah as a know-nothing.
All right, so
Blame it on Muhammad.
there you go. What's that song goes? Blame it on the rain. Okay, 144, he said, "Oh, Moses, I have chosen you above all people with my messages and with my words." Okay, aren't the messages Allah's words? So why does Allah say, the people with my messages and my words?
Because
So,
Allah doesn't know that, words are make up a message, maybe?
I guess so. So take what I have given to you and be of the thankful. Okay.
Oh, wait. I have another possible answer. You ready?
Yeah.
The messages were not oral. They were written. And the words were oral. That's the only other thing I can think of.
About the only thing that would make sense. Okay, let's go to Osama. The word alwa, according to the Arabic grammar, means 3 or more tablets. Ooh. However, in the true story found in Exodus 31, verse 18, the 10 commandments were written on 2 tablets. Notice that the tablets in the Quran version included not only the 10 commandments, but also contain many other things. Note that the word alwa also means wooden boards or planks, not stone, as described in the Bible. Well, maybe Allah's words were so huge that he needed 3. Couldn't quite fit it in the font that he used was just a little bit too big. So he had to get it into 3. Okay. And we wrote for him in the alwa from everything. Wow, that's a lot of stuff to put in tablets. From everything, a sermon and an exposition of everything.
Now, that sounds like a lot of writing.
That's a lot of writing for 2 or 3 tablets. Even 3 tablets sounds quite a bit.
A sermon and an exposition of everything. Nothing about the 10 commandments, huh?
Yeah. So
I guess the 10 commandments are included.
I guess. I mean, a sermon, maybe that's the Sermon on the Mount. And then everything else, what is this exposition of everything? What does everything include? Again, I don't think Muslims understand words have meanings, words have consequences.
Well, again, alwa, according to Arabic grammar, means 3 or more tablets.
Right.
So we could have 4, 5, 6, 10, I don't know.
Well, I think more than 3 might be a little hard for Moses to carry, but maybe they were mini tablets.
Well, he did have Joshua helping him.
Yeah, kind of like
maybe Joshua had the burden.
But remember, Joshua was downstairs making the yellow cow.
No, Joshua wasn't there. That was Aaron.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. You are correct.
Joshua was up the mountain with Moses.
Okay. So take what's okay. All right, and we wrote for him in the tablets from everything, a sermon and an exposition of everything. Notice everything and everything. So take it with strength and command your people to take the best part of it. Why didn't he just give them the best parts? Why is he telling him to choose? This
Because
kind of
Allah didn't
reminds
know
me
that
of
he has to make a choice.
going to a Chinese buffet. You pick and choose what you want. So he gives him this tablet with everything, but then he says, I want you to pick the best parts of it. I will show you the home of the transgressors. Okay. Who are these new transgressors now? I will turn away from my signs those who are proud on the earth without the truth, and if they see every sign, they will not believe in it. And if they see the way of guidance, they will not take it away. They will not take it away. If they see the way of science, they will not take it away. Okay. All right. Okay. And if they see the way of terror, they will take it away. Has
If
any
they
of this
see the
made
way
any
of
sense?
error, they will take it away. Well, that's kind of weird.
I mean, are you as confused as I am?
If they
If
see
they
the
see
way,
the way of guidance, they will not take it away. Maybe it should say they will not
if they
accept.
find something that's actually true, they don't throw it out. But if they find something that's false, they throw it out. That's as close as I can get to.
I mean, it should say, okay, and if they see the way of
Boy,
guidance,
that would get rid of a lot of the Quran.
right? They will not. Okay, they will not accept it or something. And if they see the way of terror, they will take it away. Okay, this is.
Error.
Oh, I'm sorry. And if they see, I got terror on the mind. And if they see the way of error, they will take it away. Notice how our mind sees certain words and automatically puts a T in it.
Yep.
All right, this is because they denied our signs and they were unaware of them. Here's the problem again. How can they deny something they're not aware of?
Well, because Allah would have to be logical.
Okay, these are some verses that I'm going to have to point out to the Muslims because this makes no sense. I'm denying something that I don't know of. Okay, and those who denied our signs and the meeting of the hereafter, their work will be in vain. Will they be rewarded except for what they were doing? I don't know. Will they? Who knows? Okay, the story of the magic cow with the mooing sound contradicts the account in the Bible. Yeah, I don't recall the cow in the Bible going moo. All right, so we can also see verses 20, 87, and 88 in the Quran. And Moses, people took after him from their ornaments a calf, a body which gave a mooing sound. Did they not see that it could not speak to them? But it was speaking to them. It said moo, right? When you consider that speaking, okay. Nor guide them away. Okay,
All right, so let's read the story from the Exodus 32. So we'll see. I mean, this is, so Exodus 32. And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mountain, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him, Up, make us gods, which shall go before us. And as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we want not what has become, we don't know what has become of him. And Aaron said unto them, Break off the golden earrings which are in the ears of your wives and your sons and your daughters, and bring them to me. And all the people broke off the golden earrings which were in their ears and brought them unto Aaron. And he received them at their hand and fashioned it with an engraving tool after he made a molten calf. Okay, he made the calf. How is it mooing?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's made of gold. I've never seen something that's made of gold moo. But it's a miracle of Allah, maybe, I guess.
I guess. I mean, okay.
Or is this just another example of Allah not knowing?
Yeah. Okay. So they took it. They took it, and they were unjust. Okay.
What they take?
I don't know. I guess the cow. Where did they take it? 149. And when it fell on their hands, wow, that must have been a very small cow. And they saw that they had gone astray. They said, if our Lord will not have mercy on us and forgive us, we will surely be of the losers.
You lose, loser. No, okay. Wait a
Okay,
minute.
how many hands did the cow fall on? And how did the cow fall on their hands? I mean, okay.
And who told them they had gone astray?
I don't know. The cow. That's why it was mooing. It was trying to tell him. Moses' anger over Aaron in the absence of the Samaritan proves that Aaron was behind the making of the golden calf. Notice that the board's tablets were never broken. This is a contradiction to the biblical account. Exodus 32, verse 19. Okay, verse 150. And when Moses returned to his people, I think this is also a contradiction. There's another chapter where the people repented before Moses came down. And then the other chapter says they repented after Moses came down. And I think this is the one after Moses came down. And when Moses returned to his people, wrathful, sorrowful, he said, evil is what you have done following my departure. Would you hasten the command of your lords? And he threw down the boards and seized his brother by the head. How does that work? What if he's
you knock someone down and you pull them by their hair?
Yeah.
Remember, they had long hair back then.
Okay, but that's not. I guess Allah doesn't know the difference between hair and head.
Oh.
And
I guess he's that encompasses the hair.
But where do we get the idea that he knocked him down?
Threw down the boards and seized his brother by the head and dragged him to himself. So you can grab somebody, physically grab somebody and pull them to yourself. I don't know.
He said, son of my mother, surely the people weaken me. Oh, I guess this is Aaron speaking. So Aaron is telling Moses, son of my mother, surely the people weakened me and had almost killed me. Therefore, do not make the enemy rejoice at me, and do not place me with the unjust people. He said, I am so confused.
Okay, who is he? I mean, yeah. We've got Moses returning. Does it say Aaron? It almost sounds like Allah doesn't know again. I mean, he's so unclear.
I mean, we are to assume. I don't know who this he said. He said. And then he said, why couldn't Allah just say, and Moses said, my Lord, forgive me and my brother, and admit us into your mercy. And you are the most merciful of the merciful. Well, does that mean there's more people there's somebody else that's merciful besides Allah?
That's what it sounds like. There are other gods because somebody else is merciful.
Apparently somebody is merciful, just not as merciful as Allah. Okay, 152. Surely those who took the calf will receive wrath from their lords and humiliation in this world's life. And likewise, we reward the forgers. Forgers of what?
Forgery is a crime. Why would you reward somebody for doing a crime?
That's a good question.
But Allah likes people who commit sin.
I mean,
if you don't commit enough sin, he's willing to knock you off and get somebody else to do that for you.
And my question is, what did they forge? In order for you to be a forger, you have had to forge something. Was it a painting?
Well, we could look at this word forge in another manner. What is forge? Could be like you forge a sword. Are they talking about the making of the golden calf?
I mean, it could be.
It could be that way, if we're looking at it that way. And we talk about forgery as a different way. But let's go back and look at it historically. And
so Allah is saying that he's going to reward them with humiliation. They will receive the wrath and humiliation in this Lord. We reward who's we? Is this Allah saying?
Well, there is some humiliation in the book of Exodus. Let me read this part. This comes from Exodus 32:19. And I'll just read from there. And Exodus 32:19. And it came to pass, as soon as he came nigh unto the camp, he here is Moses. Okay. And as soon as he came Okay, and Moses' anger waxed hot, and he cast the tables out of his hands and broke them beneath the mount. And he took the calf which they had made and burnt it in fire and ground it to powder and strawed it upon the water. So he basically threw it on the water and made the children of Israel drink it. So that is humiliation.
Oh man, that's some rough stuff there, man.
They
Moses
had to,
wasn't playing
so all
around.
that, so they were going, yeah, they had to drink their sin was forced to, they had to drink it. So I would say that's some humiliation.
153, and those who did the evils then repented after it and believed, surely your Lord after that is forgiving and merciful. And when the wrath of Moses was calmed, okay, I thought it was Allah, was calmed. He took up the boards, okay.
Well, Moses, it does say in the Bible that this is Moses' wrath.
Okay. And he picked up the boards, okay. So clearly they were not made out of stone because they didn't break. And their writing was guidance and mercy for those who are terrified of their Lord. So if you're not terrified, Moses' boards are not going to guide you and give you mercy. It's only if you're terrified. Because, Allah is the God of terror. And Moses chose his people, 70 men, for an appointed time. So when the quake seized them, he said, my Lord, if you will, you had destroyed them before and me. If you will, oh my goodness,
we have another place where you have to say, is Allah really speaking in Arabic? Or is he a second learner of Arabic? Yeah.
Okay. My Lord, if you will, you had destroyed them have destroyed them before and me. Will you destroy us because of what the fools did among us? It is only your sedition. Okay.
Let's try this out of Spencer, 155, right?
That should be
It's
fun.
a long one. And Moses chose 70 men among his people for our appointed meeting, and when the trembling came upon them, said, my Lord, if you had willed, you would have destroyed them long before, and me with them. Will you destroy for us, for the ignorant among us did? For what the ignorant among us did. If it is only your trial, you send astray those whom you will, and guide those whom you will, and you are our protecting friend. Therefore, forgive us and have mercy on us, you who are the best of all those who show forgiveness. It's not an exact word for word, but.
Well, again, here's the problem. You are the best of the forgivers. Who else can forgive?
That's a problem.
Yeah, I think so. Because that implies that there's somebody else who can forgive.
And we're talking about sin.
Right.
So, so Allah is committing shirk again.
Right. And we also know that Allah is the best of the creators. But we don't know exactly what does the best of, what does creating entail? Because we basically, as humans, I don't believe we create anything. I think we invent with the materials that already exist. We can't create anything from nothing, which God can. Okay, so here's a good one. He's the best of the forgivers. I'm gonna have to remember this, and just to make sure it's forgivers. Let me go to, what is this, 7155. I'm gonna go to Corpus Quran and see if it's a plural. Corpus Quran, English translation, 7 verse 1. What did I say? 156?
155.
155. Okay, go.
It's last 3 or 4 words.
Word for word.
So my suggestion is to put that on the screen when you get there.
Let me see. Dun, dun, dun. Have mercy, and you are the best of forgivers. Genitive, masculine, plural. So that means more than 2. All right, let me show that on the screen. Share the screen. I guess I gotta stop.
So this translation backs up Usama, which is what I like.
Okay. Too bad you can't share two things. You can only share one thing at a time.
Yeah.
Okay. So here we go. Let me see if you guys can see it.
You can make that just a little bit larger. That would help.
I'm gonna have to blow it up. Okay, it's down here.
There you go. Forgivers.
Let me go over here. So we see here, this is not Dr. Kufophobia or Paul. It says plural. Okay, it's a noun, genitive, which I'm not really sure what that means.
It's been so long since I've studied language.
I know. Masculine and plural. Now there's singular, dual, and plural. I think dual is 2 and plural is 3 or more. Oh, my goodness. My goodness, my goodness.
Plural is 2 or more.
In Arabic?
Yeah, it should be 2 or more. Plural. It's a standard. We're talking about language as a whole. Yeah, plurals are 2 or more.
But they have a dual also.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, they have a singular, dual, and a plural. Let me see if I can. Yeah, you know what? I'll use this here. Let me see. Singular. I had a page. Singular, dual, plural. I keep forgetting. I have it saved somewhere. Singular, dual, plural. Okay, I think this is it. Two teachers.
Singular, dual, plural. Arabic keyboard.
Two teachers. This doesn't. But there's one that actually says that it's more than. It'll tell you what it means, like 2 or more. Okay, let me see what this one says. Ooh. Okay, I think this might be okay. Plural, that which denotes more than 2 males. Okay, so it's more than 2 males, which means, okay, it says they're plural.
So there are 2 male gods, more than 2 male gods that are forgivers.
Well, what it's trying to say is that it's whatever it's referring to, it's more than 2. So it's 3 or more.
That's interesting.
That's the plural. And then you have the dual, which denotes 2. And then you have the singular, which denotes a single male or female. I guess they're referring to a masculine. So whenever we see plural, okay, so there's more than 2. So let's say 3, because more than 2 would be 3. Now it could be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So
3 plus.
Right. So according to that, that's a problem.
Oh, poor Muhammad. He keeps revealing that the Quran, his book is messed up.
Because if Allah is the best of forgivers, then that is a problem right there. Let me share. I go back to the Quran, the generous Quran. I think I think that's it. Stream. Yep. Okay. All right. Let me see. Somebody sent a private message. What was a private message? Tim Lutz. I have layered study in Islam and occult. John Isaac has a copy. How did Tim get into the private chat?
Oh, it was there a while back. I don't know.
Oh, he must have been in the panel. And since I'm reading
Nim, Grace, and Dragon are quick.
I didn't see it.
Thank you again.
Yeah, she is quick. Yeah, I already reported that one. Must be another one. I don't know how that works. All right, let's go back to where did we leave off? 155. Okay. So you are the best of the forgivers. Okay, 156. And prescribe for us in this world goods, and in the hereafter, surely our guidance is towards you. He said, now this has got to be Allah, I will afflict my torment on whom I will. So do not tell me what I need to do. I'm just messing around with Allah. But that's kind of like
Unless
Moses
you're
is
Muhammad. Unless you're
yeah,
Muhammad.
Moses is telling Allah, and prescribe for us good in this world and in the hereafter. Surely our guidance is towards you. And Allah says, I will afflict my torment on whom I will, and my mercy embraces all things. So I will prescribe it to those who fear and bring the legal alms and those who believe in our science.
So let me ask you a question. If your God just got you out of slavery and then says to you, I'm going to torment who I want to, will you continue following that God?
No, sir.
I'm going to pour down torment.
I'm
Well, you
going to
just
put
seen.
on what's his name? What's that guy that runs Bolt? I'm gonna put on his shoes and I'm a Bolt.
This is a scary. The only thing that Allah likes is to cause torment. He likes torture. He likes hate. He likes war. And he likes. Why would anybody? This is one of the things I can't understand why people want to serve this God. I will afflict my torment on whom I will.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't get a choice to do something right. Allah feels like it, he's going to torment you. That's quite a statement.
All right, let me check something else too. This is kind of curious. Let me check something out in Corpus Quran. Let me go to the next one. I think it's 150. Yeah, 156. And it's the end. I want to try something here. 156, word by word. Dun, 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 dun. And I will encompass Shaitan, those who are righteous, and give zakat, and those who they in our verses. Genitive, plural nouns. Okay, first person plural. I guess that's referring to verses is plural, and I think verses are feminine. Feminine. And then we got are in our verses that says first person plural. Okay, I thought I had something there, but it doesn't look like I do. All right, so we'll just.
Robert Spencer put it, I will strike those with my punishment. I will strike those whom I will with my punishment.
Okay.
That's still mild compared to the concept of torment.
Yeah. Okay.
Punishment and torment are really two different things.
All right, there we go. References to Muhammad in the Torah and the Gospel are alleged. Yeah. My favorite verse. Ooh, that's a long verse. Those who follow the messenger, the Gentile prophet, whom they will find described for them in the Torah and the Gospel. Okay, now here's a problem. This doesn't say Muhammad. It just says follow the messenger, the Gentile prophet. Why couldn't Allah be specific and says those who follow Muhammad, whom they will find this?
I have an answer, but most people won't like it.
Yeah. Those who follow the
Maybe
messenger,
Allah didn't know who
Gentile
Muhammad
prophet,
was.
who they will find described for them in the Torah and the Gospel. But Allah is telling you and I to go look for this prophet in the Torah and the Gospel, which Muslims tell you and I it's been corrupted and it's been changed and all this other good stuff. But yet Allah wants me to look in a book that's been changed. Okay. He will command them with fairness and forbid them from the evil and make good things lawful for them and prohibit the impure for them and will ease them of their burdens and of their yokes which were on them, so that those who believed in him and strengthened him and helped him and followed the light which has been sent down with him, those are the prosperous. Oh my God.
What the heck does that have to do with what was
That
just
is
read? Those are the prosperous.
Where did we see about yokes being burdened, being lightened? Didn't Jesus say something about that?
Just a
Something,
second.
something about he will remove or lighten your burden.
I'm just going to pull it up on the scriptures just a second.
Okay, so
Okay, there's
So
53
not
verses.
only did Muhammad come with the Quran, he came with a light. What light? So a light was sent down with him. Okay, but wait a minute. Oh, okay, I'm confused. Muhammad was sent down with a light? Where was Muhammad sent from? Did he come down from China?
All right. So let me get to that verse just a second. So Matthew 11:29 says, "Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and you shall find rest unto your souls." Verse 30 says, "For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." But for Muhammad and Allah, it does say, "And will ease them of their burdens and of their yokes."
Right. I guess it's kind of
still
like a
speaking
twisted.
of
Yeah.
yeah. I still speak. The way I read this is he'll make it easier, but this is still a heavy burden.
Hmm. But notice it says, okay, so this is talking about the Gentile, this prophet, this Gentile prophet, okay, who we find in the Torah and the Gospel. Now, this prophet, he will command them with fairness. Okay, so he's going to be fairness, and he's going to forbid from them evil and make good things lawful for them, and he will prohibit the impure for them, and will ease them of their burdens and of the yokes which were on them, so that those who believe in him and strengthen him and helped him and followed the light which has been sent down with him.
Sent down.
I mean, sent down means
He's throwing stuff down on the people.
right. But where did Muhammad come that he was also sent down with a light? What does Spencer say for 157?
157. All right. Those who follow the messenger, the unlettered prophet, whom they will find described in the Torah and the gospel with them. He will command for them what is right and forbid them what is wrong. He will make lawful for them all good things and prohibit for them only the filthy things. And he will relieve them of their burden and the chains that they used to wear. Then those who believe in him and honor him and help him follow the light, which is sent down with him, they are the ones who are successful.
Okay, so Robert also says that the light was sent down with him. So Muhammad was sent down with a light. So
What, did he have a
Allah,
flashlight?
so Allah sent down Muhammad with a light.
So,
This is interesting.
okay, back then that would be he doesn't say lamp. I'm kind of curious what they mean by this light.
All right. Well, let me see what the scholars say. So we go to Quran X 7.
So there's a comment here from Spencer on 157. He says, quote, "The unlettered prophet," unquote. While they're saying this is the terms that were used here translate illiterate, unlettered, unable to read and write. That would explain why he doesn't get things. Can't write them down as he hears them, or have anybody else sent among the unlettered ones a messenger. Their own is not the only believers were illiterate. The early believers were illiterate, and the message of the Quran was never restricted to the illiterate only. An alternative explanation may be preferable. I'm just looking for the light part.
Well, according to Jalalain, it's saying that the light is referring to the Quran.
Okay, this is not something that I would be bragging about. Okay, this is clear as mud. It is not a light. If anything, it's seeing through a glass darkly. It's like trying to look through a glass, like a dark beer glass, and you're trying to see through it. It's sorry, you're not going to see very well through it. No, not a light. It's like it has a dark lens on the light cap. You know, you probably put a cover on the lens of the flashlight or a filter, maybe. You
According
can't see
to
everything.
according to Ibn Abbas, it says, then those who believe in him, in Muhammad, meaning his followers, and honor him and assist him and help him with the sword and follow the light, the Quran.
With the sword.
Yeah, with the sword. And follow the light, the Quran, which is sent down with him. But there was no Quran.
That's where things again. The Quran means recitation. So which part? Okay, if we're talking about recitation, which recitation are we talking about? Because there was so many that they had to be put together.
Yeah, because he says, okay, follow the light, the Quran, which was sent down with him. Again, I got a problem with the sent down, which
Ouch.
was
Oh, I can say.
sent with Gabriel. So this one, Ibn Abbas mentions Gabriel. Jalalain does not mention any Gabriel.
Because it doesn't say anything about Gabriel here.
Yeah, I know. Those who believe and honor him refers to respecting and honoring Muhammad and follow the light which has been sent down with him. Again, it's talking about the Quran and the Revelation Sunnah that the Prophet delivered to mankind. Apparently, the Quran and the Revelation Sunnah, I don't know what that means.
Well, that would be mentioning the hadiths. The Sunnah is the hadith and the Sirahs.
Yeah, but there was no Sunnah during the time of Muhammad. Supposedly, Muhammad delivered the Sunnah, which is supposed to be revelation. Oh my!
Which is
Again,
humorous because again, it
this
says
is
something.
this doesn't make sense. The light that was sent down with him, meaning the Quran. So the Quran was sent down with Muhammad. Okay, but that would imply that in order for you to be sent down, you had to come from someplace that was high. And the Quran, there was no Quran. The Quran is not a book. It's
It's a
just
bunch.
revelation that supposedly he memorized and then had people write down. So
No. Nobody's. That's where it gets interesting. They had to memorize them, and then a good portion of those who memorized the Quran were killed before the Quran was ever put into print.
yeah. I mean, the story goes they were afraid they would lose the Quran, so they, Abu Bakr told what's his name, Zayd ibn Thabit to put it together.
Yeah.
Okay, 158. Say, O you people, surely I am the messenger of Allah to all of you, to whom is the kingdom of the heavens and the earth. Okay, I am the messenger of Allah to all of you. To whom is referring back to Allah, because Allah is after the messenger. Okay, so that, I guess, if you follow the rules of grammar, it's referring to the kingdom in the heavens of Allah. All right, there is no God but him. Okay. He gives life and causes death, so believe in Allah and his messenger, the Gentile prophet who believes in Allah and his words, and follow him. Perhaps you may be guided. There again, Allah
is the God of perhaps. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. That's another reason why not to follow Allah. If you want to follow a God of perhaps, okay, that's too small a God for me. I'm sorry.
Allah's prophets do not know if Allah is going to do X, Y, Z. 159. And among Moses' people was a nation which guides with the truth and by its acts fairly. and we divided them into 12 tribes, and we revealed to Moses. Well, I'm sorry, but weren't they
I'm
already
sorry, I'm
12
laughing with
tribes?
Nim Crace's comments. Honestly, I could have written a better book. I'm not bragging.
But wait a minute. Didn't the 12 tribes exist before Moses?
Yes, they did.
So why is
Yeah,
Allah saying we divided them into 12?
because Allah doesn't know.
Mm.
This is where he's chronologically inept. I mean, I have met students who have difficulties with chronological order. This implies to me that, I mean, again, Moses is the story about Moses comes long after the 12 tribes. The 12 tribes come after Abraham. Okay, this is the important thing. So we got Abraham, we got Isaac, and then we have Jacob. And Jacob is Israel. And from after Israel, we get the 12 tribes. That's what's humorous here. That he equates, he can't tell time. He thinks Israel comes after Moses. This is supposed to be the God of Moses, but he doesn't know what happens. He doesn't know that Moses was already a member of the 12 tribes. Humorous.
Yeah, and I mean
Allah
that
does not know. This is one of those verses we should highlight and put out there in a chapter. Did Allah not know? That's what it comes down to. Allah doesn't know what he says. If he believes he's the God of Israel, if he really believes that, how come he doesn't know that the 12 tribes were already divided? I mean, that's the hilarious part here. It says something that this God is too small to know.
yeah, which
And
is
then he goes
funny.
back, and this is even funnier. So that now they're going ahead, and he's striking a rock with a rod, and so gush forth from it 12 springs. Yeah.
Okay, so we divided them into 12 tribes, which already existed, and we revealed to Moses when the people asked, drink of him, drink of him, drink of who? Are we talking about cannibalism here? Drink. What
He's
about
talking about okay, this is just bad writing. Strikes a rock. Moses strikes a rock is, let me just look that up.
Yeah, but they're saying, and we divided them into the 12 tribes, nations, and we revealed to Moses when the people asked, drink of him. That was before drink of him, drink of him that strike the rock with your rod. That strike, oh my God, this is just, okay, then strike, okay, so drink of him that strike the rock with your rod. Okay, so gushed forth from it 12 springs. Okay, indeed, all humans knew their drinking place. Now, what? But is Allah trying to tell me that only the 12 tribes existed? Nobody else existed besides the 12 tribes? Because he's saying all humans knew their drinking place. That is referring to the people that were with Moses.
So we're going to go back to Exodus 17. Let me just pull that up real quick. And that's where this happens. Again, Allah doesn't know the full story, which is, again, very, very sad. All right, let me get this part here. I'm like, font. Okay. Where is it? Okay. And the Lord said unto Moses, go on before the people and take with you the elders of Israel and your rod. Therewith you smote a river. Take in your hand and go. Behold, I will stand before you upon the rock in Horeb, and you shall smite the rock, and there shall come water out of it, that the people may drink. And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel. And he called the name of the place Massa and Meribah, because of the chiding of the children of Israel, and because they tempted the Lord, saying, is this the Lord among us or not. So in this case, they strike the rock. There's nothing saying there's 12 springs here. Again, this is Moses. This is Muhammad adding to the story because he doesn't know the story correctly.
Well, remember that a Muslim will tell you that the Quran is correcting. The Bible forgot that there was 12. And Allah wants you to know that there was 12. So Allah is correcting the Bible because the Bible didn't say that when he's...
So then you go back and say, wait a minute, if the Bible's, if the Quran is correcting, can you explain to us how Moses was a Levite and Aaron was a Levite, but Allah divides them after they return to the area known as the wilderness? How do they become Levites where they're born into the Levite tribe, but Allah doesn't divide them into 12 until they come into the wilderness after they cross the Red Sea?
Right. Moses and Aaron would have already, Moses and Aaron and his sister, they would have already been Levites.
Poor Allah, he just doesn't know.
Okay. And we caused clouds to shadow them, and we sent down on them the manna and the quail. I like quail. I haven't had any.
Thank you again, mods. You're fast.
Oh man, those guys, those bots, I'm telling you, man. Eat of the good things which we provided to you, and they did not treat us unjustly, but they were treating themselves unjustly. Okay, I'm not quite sure what that means. Okay, 161. Man, I thought this was like only 160 verses, but I was wrong.
No, it's 200 some, I think.
Oh, 200? I guess we won't be done today because it's almost 2 hours. Dang it.
It's 206.
All right, and we're a little slow today. No, actually, no, we started at 103, so yeah.
You were doing pretty good.
Yeah, we've been clicking at 50, between 50 and 55. Okay, 161. And when it was said to them, dwell in this village and eat what you will from there, and say forgiveness and enter the door worshiping, we will forgive your sins and we will increase the doers of good. Okay, dwell in this village. What village?
Okay. Well, Allah doesn't like naming places. That's
no, he
doesn't.
One
of the things. With Eric's show, he talks about that. I mean, how little the locations. I mean, this is one of the things that is of grave concern when you read the Quran. I mean, locations are missing constantly.
The Bible is fraught with locations. I mean, there's locations everywhere.
Yes.
And we know a lot of those locations are actually true, actual.
All of the locations in the Bible have actually been found.
All of them?
All of them.
Wow.
Yeah. That's been since the 80s. That's the thing that kills me.
I've
known that since the 80s because I used to subscribe to biblical archaeology and
okay.
Yeah, and I saw that claim. There was one place they hadn't found, and they found it, and they put it up, and that was quite a statement. I graduated high school in '82, and I think I subscribed to that between '83 and '84. So you can just think that's how far back that we actually know we have found every location in the Bible. That's a lot of places.
I was going to say, I didn't know they had found every single place. Huh. That's something new. All right, 162. So the unjust among them replaced the word with another. Okay, wait a minute. The unjust among them replaced the words. That word.
Which word?
Not the same which had been said to them. Okay, so what did they replace?
Did
they replace a written words, or did they replace a memorized words? Okay, and where did the word come from? Did it come from the Torah? It couldn't have been from the Injil. The Injil didn't exist. It couldn't have been from the Zabur, the Psalms. That didn't exist yet. Because David and Solomon came after King David. I'm sorry, Moses. So we don't know what word. They replaced that word. Now notice they only replaced one word. That word. And we don't know what that word was. Okay.
Oh, and it's interesting. I mean, people will use this to say that the scriptures are not accurate. Even Spencer made a comment in here on this verse. He said, "Among the Jews are some who are righteous, but others altered their scriptures." That's his statement. But this accounts for the disconnect between the Quran saying that it confirms the message of the Torah. Chapter 3, verse 3, Surah 3, verse 3, Surah 3, verse 50, in fact, states that it does not actually do so. So, in order to really come out and argue this point that they want to claim that the Torah is changed, they have to say, wait a minute. I mean, in chapter 3 says it didn't change. So, oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's quite a statement.
Right. You want to get the next one?
Okay, we're on to sorry, which one are we on? I'm sorry. 160. We're going down to 163, right?
Well, don't forget to read what
Yep.
Osama
Okay, some of
put.
the Jews were cursed and became monkeys until the resurrection day. It is written here that Allah tempts with evil. This contradicts the Bible, which clearly teaches that God does not tempt anyone. See James chapter 1, verses 13 to 14. And ask them about the village, again, another place with no name, which was present by the sea. And when they transgressed on the Sabbath, Saturday, when their whales came to them, appearing openly on their Sabbath day, and the day they did not have Sabbath, their whales did not come to them. Likewise, we tempted them because they were transgressors. Whale days.
Okay, from what I am reading, it appears that Allah made the whales or the fish stay away from them except for the day of Sabbath. Then he punishes them by turning them into monkeys because, well, they fished on the Sabbath. So if the fish are not coming on the other days, that's not the Sabbath, and Allah only sends
Well,
the
he's
fish
only
on
talking
the,
about the whales,
yeah.
and that's the interesting part here. What I find interesting is they are making a claim here that there is another Sabbath for animals and for whales. Maybe I'm missing it wrong. When the whales came to them appearing only on their Sabbath day, and they did not have a Sabbath, the whales did not come to them. So if Jews are forbidden from doing work, I don't know. I look at this as something's like, okay, we're here. Too bad for you. I mean, this is temptation, but to come out and say that the Jews would do this, no. They don't know Jewish people very well. But then Muhammad didn't, because Muhammad actually made the claim that the Jews who would not fight with him alongside him on the Sabbath day were wrong. And he makes us he demanded they go and fight with him beside him on a Sabbath day. And like, that's as stupid as you get. Okay, I mean, he doesn't understand. This is some of the humor. They just don't get it. So they keep trying to mock the Jews and the Sabbath. I think this is purposeful. It's anger. They try to mock the Jews for that reason alone.
Now, my question is, where would the Jews that whales used to be in the area?
I don't remember seeing anything in the scriptures about Jews being whalers. It also makes me wonder. I mean, I don't know how far back the history goes of the whaling industry. And we hear about, when we look at the whaling industry, I don't think it's that old, is the other statement here. I mean, was this book written so much later that the whaling industry existed? That's what I'm curious about, because that could make a statement about when this was written.
Now we would also have to check with what do if it actually does say whales. I thought it was about fish.
Okay, let me go back and into 163. Let's see what Spencer put in here. Asked them about the town that was by the sea, how they broke the Sabbath, how their big fish came to them visibly upon the Sabbath day and did not come to them on a day when they did not keep the Sabbath. In this way, we tested them because they were transgressors. They're saying big fish. Usama says, you can always go back and I can say you can check the definition of big fish. Well, and there's no comment here from Spencer, which kind of surprises me.
I mean, big fish. I mean, I guess that could be used to represent a whale, and maybe why Osama. I wish he was here today. Or big
I
fish.
didn't invite him. I could have. I didn't think to
Oh,
invite him.
I just thought, I didn't think about it either because typically I think on Saturday. Yeah, I mean, if it's a whale, then whales are typically out in the sea.
Yes.
They don't particularly come into like near the shore, so you'd have to go out there. Now, you know,
And there was so many
whale.
rules for Jews about what you could and could not do. I mean, how many steps you were allowed to take. I mean, some of this was just ridiculous. That they got so pity about this, and yet we know that that's exactly what the issue is.
Because it talks about a village by the sea, but we don't know which village by the sea. And which sea? The Red Sea?
Well, because this is another example of, again, there's a village, no name village, by a sea, no name sea. It makes it quite a statement.
But there's whales in that particular,
or big fish.
Yeah, big fish, which that could be anything. Hey, could be sharks. I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're probably sharks in the Red Sea.
And so Jews are not going fishing. I'll tell you, they're not going fishing on their Sabbath.
Especially not for whales. But here's the thing. But the problem is that Allah didn't allow the whales or the big fish to appear except on the Saturday. So that means these people kind of pretty much starved.
Well, here's the funny part of this. If these big fish appear in the sea, the people who are the Jews aren't going to know it.
Right.
Nim Gray said there's no whales in the Mediterranean.
Well, we got a problem then. Okay, just the wonders of Allah. They just invent stuff. So we got a village, we got a sea, unknown, and we got whales that only show up on Sabbath day to tempt the Jews by Allah because they were transgressors. We don't know what they transgressed.
Or the big fish, if we look at it as big fish, still, it's just, again, if the Jews are, following the rules for the Sabbath, which they did, they wouldn't even know because this is way out at sea.
Right. Maybe it's a killer whale that came by the store to look for stray Jews. Okay, all right. 164. And when one nation of them said, so I guess because there was 12 nations or 12 tribes, why preach to people whom Allah will destroy or torment them with severe torments? They said, okay, so one nation said to who? Okay, why preach to people whom Allah will destroy or torment? Well, I mean, it kind of.
So this is a good reason. If that's the truth, if Allah is going to destroy and torment people, why do you even bother?
I mean,
it's Allah's fault anyway. He told.
Is it going to make a difference? Because after all, at the end of the day, Allah guides who He wants.
Allah decided to make me, out there telling people Allah's book is as clear as mud. So if Allah wants me to do that, who are you to say no?
I don't know. Okay, kind of screwed up things. Now I got two browsers. Oh my goodness. Okay, and when one nation of them said, "Why preach to the people whom Allah will destroy or torment them with severe torment?" They said, as an excuse for your Lord, and perhaps they may
Fear. Weird. But this Allah, he likes torture. He likes
find it
torment.
of, we
He
delivered
likes fear.
those who had been forbidden from the
And this is
evil,
the Allah
and
who
we
has.
seized those who did injustice with an evil torment because they were transgressors. Okay.
God,
All right.
Allah is the God of torment. Yep.
166. So when they revolted against what they were forbidden to do, we said to them, become despised monkeys. Okay, so what caused them to revolt? And what was forbidden? Was it the part about uh leave the whales alone on Sabbath? I'm guessing that's what it was.
So wait a
They
minute. If they became despised monkeys, what? Who turned them back?
mm, I think this is expounding on why they became monkeys, because they
But
revolted
again, if
against.
they're not monkeys today,
Mm,
who turned them back?
mm.
A bigger God?
So maybe the monkeys that we see today, they're that particular tribe of Jews that were fishing for whales on the Sabbath day, and then the rest of the Jews that we see today, those are the ones who didn't fish.
I mean, there's
Granted
nothing
that
here.
granted, the only day that you could fish for food to eat was on a Sabbath day. But you were punished for trying to feed yourself and your family on the only day that the damn whales would show up. Okay. And when your Lord decided to send against them, who will subject them to the evil torment until the resurrection day, surely your Lord is hasty in the punishment, and surely he is forgiving, merciful.
You know what we need to do every time we hear that slur against Jews, calling them monkeys? We need to turn around and say, okay, let's go to the Quran here. Okay, they became despised monkeys. Can you show us where Allah decided to take them out of being monkeys? Can you show
And
us any place?
which tribe was this?
Yeah, I mean, and where was this village?
Hmm.
Where was this place? You know, and so, but the point is, if Allah didn't change them from becoming monkeys, there must be somebody bigger than Allah.
And I'm also thinking that 167 is talking about when he says, and when your Lord decided to send against them, who will subject them to the evil torment. I'm guessing he's referring to Satan.
That is confusing. 167.
But then
And the Lord decided to send against them who will subject them to evil torment. I don't know. It could be Allah, because Allah likes to do evil. He likes to torment people.
yeah,
Subject to evil torment until the resurrection day. Surely
again,
your Lord is hasty in the punishment, and
this
surely He's
is
forgiving, merciful. So it's
there's a
it's
reason,
speaking to Allah. Allah is hasty in the punishment.
there's a reason why this book is clear as mud.
Allah likes torment, just like I said. It's right there. Allah is hasty in the torment.
All right, I think we'll stop at 170.
All right.
Okay, 169. So descendants after them descended, and they inherited the book. Okay, they will take the width of this below. 12, 12, 12. I just remember 12. Pleasures of the world. So they will take the width of this below, pleasures of the world, and they say, we will be forgiven. And if the width like it comes to them, they will take it. They did not take against them a covenant of the book, that they will not say about Allah except the truth, and they study what is in it. And the home of the hereafter is best to the fearer. Do you not understand? Hell no. I don't
Okay,
understand.
so you know what's interesting? They just said right here, they're talking about the Quran. Study what's in it. Okay. I challenge Muslims to do what we're doing. Go through the Quran verse by verse. That's what studying is about. Okay? If you can't do that and if you can do that and remain Muslim, I'd be shocked. Start reading the Quran. Study it. Find out how messed up it really is.
And what does Allah mean? They will take the width of this below.
That's again, it's clear as mud.
I mean, holy moly. I mean, we're talking about measurements now? Okay, do you not understand? No, I don't understand. 170. And whoever holds the book, what book? And performs the prayer, what prayer? Surely we will not waste the wage of the reformers. Who are these reformers and what did they reform?
Again, Allah can't tell us the location or who or where this is. That's just says something about Allah not being very clear.
I mean, we have
And we spent 2 hours going over the Quran today. And if you're listening today and this is 10 years down the road, I don't care. If you're a Muslim and you're sitting there, this makes no sense. Why should I follow this God called Allah? That's the goal here. Leave Islam, find Jesus.
yes, please do, because I mean, I swear, I think I lose brain cells. My English is worse now than it was before. Reading these poor translations. I mean, I feel sorry for these translators. I hope they got paid well.
Well,
Because,
Osama, I won't say got paid well, but
well, no, yeah,
what he did, this is the thing that people don't understand. Usama stood so far behind his translation that he sent one to every single politician in the United States. So if you were in Congress, you got a free copy. If you were in the state government in your state, you were assemblyman or senator or a governor, you got a copy. That's how much he believed in what he did. He raised enough money to do that.
wow.
So think about that. That's a man who stands behind his work.
And I bet you the majority of them probably didn't even read a book.
That's sadly or they've left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's we've gone 2 hours and 7 minutes. That's where we've kind of been leaving it off. 2 hours, a little bit less than 2 hours and a half. Okay, so next time I'm gonna try to see, maybe we'll do one on Wednesday and do one on Friday. Now we should finish this next week. We're on 171, the story of the magic flying mountain. Okay.
I've never heard of a flying mountain.
I thought it was going to talk about Solomon and his flying carpet, but I guess not. I guess there's also magic flying mountain.
Watch out. Those things can hit you. Get your plane out of the sky.
I know why you're saying that, because it's talking about Allah wanted to scare the pants out of the Jews, so he raised the mountain over them, and he said, listen, if you don't behave, I'm going to drop this on you. So that's the flying mountain. Okay.
Uh-oh.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, to the mods, thank you very much. I guess this is the new thing. Bots. You know what's the new thing on I was going to say Pal Talk, on Clubhouse, is Muslims pretending to be people that we know, that we typically make mods in the room, and then they shut down the room. Twice they've done that to my room. One time they came in and the last time they pretended to be God Logic. And the poor person didn't know he wasn't God Logic. And they shut down the room. And then the first time they came in and pretended to be Paul Bishop. And somebody, I think it was What Do made him a mod. And then he took out all the mods. And then when he was the last mod, he shut down the room. So I'm watching the replay, right? And I'm seeing like, okay, that mod disappears, that mod disappears, that mod disappears. And then when there's no mods in the I call it the speakers or the stage, they shut down my room. Now the other guy was smart. Oh, here comes the bots. He didn't take out the mods. He just went in and took out the room. Man, I have got to learn how to do those bots because I see some potential there. We could use the bots to promote our channels. Hey, you know who I haven't gotten any notifications from? I'm gonna have to check our good friend, open-minded Christian or open-minded thinker. I haven't gotten any notifications. I'm gonna have to go check out his channel. Anyway, Nim Grace, Marion, Jesus. Who else?
We had so many nice people working as mods helping out. I tell you, you ladies are and others who are helping out. Marion, there's Nim Grace, Daragan. Your work as mods is highly respected. Thank you.
Yes, we appreciate the work for no wages. Let me see. Is Marion? No, I'm going to make Marion the mod. Make her a moderator. And let's see, Jesus Worldwide. He's a good supporter. You know who I didn't see today? I didn't see my good buddy from Pal Talk, Roughneck. I guess he was roughing it out today. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming into the show. And for those of you who didn't see our new intro, I'm going to play it as an extra. All right, here we go. All righty, there was a little hiccup there at the start. I guess my computer must have said, "No, man, this is too hard for me to do." Thank you. You're very welcome to be a mod. I'm going to try to do a new intro for each time. Oh, I got to remember when my month's going to be over. I'm going to have to keep an eye on that. Okay, let's see. So Mr. Open-Minded Thinker said he will take a Shahada at 100,000. He's making some pretty good money, Nim, because he opened up a new channel. And that channel, you have to, I guess you have to support it by making payments. Okay, well, he's since July, he's grown from 40, I think it was 42,000 to almost 100,000.
I would say you have global Muslims who will do anything.
Oh yeah, well, they're all waiting for him to take the Shahada. Now,
it's not going to happen.
For me and Paul, I'm at 494, and I've been doing this for over a year. I've got over 200 and something videos. And for the last couple of weeks, I've been stuck at 494. I'm probably the only one that loses subscribers. I'm guessing they're Muslim.
I've got 198.
I mean, I don't understand. God bless him. He's almost at 5,000.
Wow.
I mean, he is going up there like crazy. You know, Paul, me and you, we got to take a trip over to Balboa Park and go visit Sheikh Uthman Farouk. We'll become very popular, and then our channels will explode. And we won't have to work. We'll be, we'll make money from this. Listen, he's not a friend. I call him a friend. He's a ex-Marine. He does prepping. His name is Prepared Mind, and he's only got like about 80,000 people. Let me tell you, I have seen his live shows where from the what do you call it? When you donate super chats.
Yes.
He's gotten a couple $1,000 from like a 2-hour show.
Wow.
I mean, and then he's also on Patreon. So, and to join Patreon, it's like he charges $2 a month. I haven't been able to get one person to buy one product from my Teespring, my Teespring collection. Of course, they're all political in nature. Maybe I'm going to have to do something with Islam. Maybe do a controversial, you know, uh, T-shirt, or something, or a mug, you know. But I'm telling you, I mean, or even buy me a cup of coffee for $1.99. I can't even get a third of a cup of coffee over at Starbucks for $1.99. Forget the inflation now. Are you stuck, Paul?
No, I'm fine. I'm laughing.
Okay.
They decided to. I got strikes on my for a copyright claim on my logic, my presentation of logical fallacies.
Yeah, but did you get an email?
I've got two copyright claims. Well, the funny thing is,
well, I've
they
got
don't. The people
also.
who filed the claims don't understand fair use. So
yeah, well,
I've
the
won.
two that
I've won the first one, and the second one they're trying to hold on to the claim, but they lose the claim if they don't, prove that it's not fair use.
Well, I got two copyrights, and you know who they were from.
Yeah.
Aladdin.
Well,
Now,
Aladdin the dancer, he came to comment today on my it's funny because I showed it to a kid, and what I did was I read the devotional that I did today, Matthew 9, and he comes up and he says, "Oh, my student," and he's mentioning my name, and then he says I'm using emotion instead of whatever, and I wrote back, Aladdin, you first have to know the material in order to become a teacher.
yeah, he's all right, but they didn't send me a letter or anything. They said they wouldn't didn't go against me, but yeah, I deleted them because they were two stupid videos. But I knew it was him because it was two little short videos that I did from his videos.
Oh,
So
I might, I dedicated the logical series to the logical fallacies class. It's actually a class that I teach in apologetics when I teach apologetics. So I dedicated that show to Aladdin. I'm sure he's watched it. I'm sure he's laughing about it. Or maybe the big objective I have here is
right.
maybe he's learning from it. I would appreciate that.
You guys go talk to Uthman about Muhammad being a pedo, and I will pretend to overhear, and I will pretend to be angry. Okay. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great Saturday, or if you're in one of those time zones where
You know
it's already
what?
Sunday.
I'd like to go and talk to Uthman about. I challenge him to prove to me the Quran is a clear communication device.
Yeah, well,
That would be fun. The two of
you,
us could do that.
you know what? The Filipino dancer hasn't taken you up on that one. So apparently, Sheikh Farouk has not been in his little tent when God Logic has been there. So
Well,
anyway,
I've noticed
okay.
the videos that are being done from that. That's not just God Logic and others right now. He's not. Uthman's kind of in hiding, it seems.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end the broadcast. Everybody have a great time. Enjoy your Saturday, what's left of it, or your Sunday, if it's the beginning. Paul, thank you. We'll do it again. All right, let me end this here.